The king in the north! The king in the north!
Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So before I even get started, I want to say thanks to all the people that super chatted. I forgot to read the super chats at the end of the call-in show on Sunday. So I want to say thank you and I appreciate it. And I'm going to do better, you know. It's a long show, so by the end, I was just ready to get out of there and it slipped my mind, but I appreciate y'all and sorry about that. Okay, now back to business. So Michigan will play Oklahoma 7:30 on Saturday in Norman, Oklahoma. And before I even get to that, we got a little news. We got some news. So it's coming out. I saw it in the Detroit Free Press. I saw it in CBS that basically Michigan had a spy, I guess you would say. And we all know it's probably Joey Velasquez. If you don't know who that is, he was a linebacker for Michigan in 2023. He transferred to Ohio State in 2024. And they're saying that he lied to the NCAA, lied on Chris Partridge, recorded Connor Stalions' phone calls, and, you know, that's what he did. Whoever it was, they didn't say it was him for sure, I don't think, yet. But we all know it's probably him. So it's going to be fun to see the fallout behind that and what happens. Because, you know, they talked all that stuff and the hammer was a baby hammer. And it's looking like something is going on, you know, for a dude to go from Michigan, win the championship, then go to Ohio State. Right after that, it's just weird behavior. Something going on, boy. Something going on. We're going to find out what y'all up to. You did something. But I'm not going to Buckeye scoop. I'm not going to Buckeye scoop because, honestly, I don't care that much at this point. You know, if something happens, and it'll just be funny to me, but it don't really change anything for me at this point. But it just brings some validation to their witch hunt, which looks like it's pointing back to them. Meaning Ohio State, you know. So that's neither here nor there. I just felt like I should touch on it. Now, news from today that actually impacts the game. Jayshon Barham's appeal for his targeting hit was denied. And, you know, what I hate about this? It's not that he plays for Michigan or something. The targeting rule is stupid. It's a stupid rule because you kicking these young dudes out of games and then making them sit out a half and sit out the next game, bro. These dudes ain't out there trying to be dirty. If you're gonna do it, throw the flag, personal foul, and move on. If you get two of them, you're out of the game, and that's it. But trying to suspend somebody to the next game is stupid. Like, you shouldn't be kicking dudes out for a big hit. Oh, he hit him and it grazed his head. Oh, he hit him and it looked violent. Yeah, they're playing football. It's going to be violent. What sport you thought this was? The rule was always stupid to me, but, you know, the game changes and, you know, guys have to understand it. But you're penalizing guys for playing football. That's the game. That's the game. This ain't flag football. This is real football. They're going to hit, and it's going to be violent, and sometimes somebody's going to get hit in the head. The players don't deserve to be kicked out of games for it. And then, it's in the second half, so you got to sit out the half of the next game. Like, it's stupid. You know, it's just a stupid rule. You know, it should be you get one. Okay, we marked it down. You got one personal foul targeting. You get two. Okay, you're out of this game, not the next game. It's just dumb. You know. Do you want them to play football or you don't? You do or you don't? Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? So that's that. So he'll be out the first half against Oklahoma. So Cole Sullivan, Jimmy Rolder, they're going to have to play a bigger role, you know. Luckily, those guys, Cole Sullivan should be ready to go. You know, said he was in the system last year, learned. We thought he would play last year. He didn't, but he should be ready to go this year. And Jimmy Rolder's a veteran who's gotten better every year. So I got trust in those guys. It's just, you know, Barham's one of our best linebackers and one of our best blitzers, so it hurts a little bit. But second half will be there. And before I move on, Barham, if you have a free shot at the quarterback, he don't see you. Don't jump up on his face to bear hug him. Get that ball back from me. Get that ball back for us, son. We want the ball. You're looking for the big hit. Get me the ball. Then we wouldn't even be in this mess. Dude didn't even see. You should have boop. You shouldn't even have hit him. That wasn't even one. That didn't even deserve a hit. You should have knocked that ball out. Knock that ball out. Knock that ball out. Fumble Rooski. Because you hit him and he didn't even fumble. Somehow he held onto the ball with you with you doing the Wolverine on his face mask. He held on to that ball. That wasn't a fumble. So that's my thing. The biggest thing I hate is a blitzer, an edge rusher, whoever it is, and the quarterback doesn't see them and they go for the monster hit instead of the ball. Get the ball. Get the ball. Shout out to Ojabo, strip sack. Where my boy Ojabo at? He would have had that ball on the ground so fast, because that's the most important thing. Get us the ball. Now, let's get to Oklahoma. So, we have to play Oklahoma this Saturday, as I already said. And Oklahoma is coming off of a kind of a down year last year. And similar to us, both teams made additions and got new coordinators, and they're trying to get back to the playoff, or get to the playoff for Oklahoma again. It's been some years for them. But we're both trying to get back in the playoff where it matters. So, you know, Oklahoma, of course, is coached by Brent Venables, who we all know used to be at Clemson, was the defensive coordinator there, and he runs a 4-3/4-2-5. You know, everybody kind of runs a 4-2-5 at this point because everybody's passing it more and spreading you out. So his scheme is it's a complex scheme. It's a complex scheme where he disguises a lot of stuff, exotic blitzes. So he's gonna be trying to confuse Bryce Underwood. That's just a fact. We know this. Venables is gonna be trying to confuse him. Now the chess match will be with Chip Lindsey. To me, you have to establish that run. You don't want to put everything on Bryce. You don't want to do that. But you also don't want to lean on the run game and not get him calmed down. You know, this is going to be interesting because we just saw Arch Manning in his first start in the shoe. Looked like straight garbage. I almost don't even want to compare Bryce to him in any way because he was what he was. But, you know, going on the road, that crowd that's going to be rocking, it's going to show you what you're made of, what your players are made of. Is this dude a dog? Does he have heart? To be a gamer, you don't have to be a senior. To be ready for the moment, it comes from in here. It comes from in here. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes can have it. Some dudes have it, some don't. So, saying that, we still have to find out. We don't know. Like we saw it at home at the big house with it. Bryce, this moment ain't too big for me, but we don't know how he'll react on the road with a rowdy crowd. So we're gonna have to find out. So you want to make him calm, but you want to calm him down, but you want to lean on the run game. So you want to start with some easy throws, like the screens and things like that, to calm him down and get him in a rhythm early, you know. But I expect Brent Venables to blitz Bryce. Honestly, I expect him to blitz him. You know, they have a good defense. They have a good defense with a nice amount of veteran guys coming back, also transferring in. So this defense is capable. I think we all know that. So I want to see them be able to run on them. Now, saying that, Oklahoma played Illinois State. Now, when a team plays a team like Illinois State, there ain't much you can take from it. Like, there's just not much you can take from it. But if bad things happen, I'm going to take a little bit of it, and then we're going to find out until further notice. Because when you play a team like that, you should play good. So when you don't, and I see some chinks in your armor, I got to take some from it, a little bit, until it's proven otherwise. So Illinois State was able to run it a little bit on Oklahoma. One of their backs had 50 yards on 7 carries, 7.1 yards a carry. Another one had 27 yards. So as a team, they ran for 117, which isn't a lot. But also on the other side, Oklahoma couldn't run the ball very well. They barely had 100 yards rushing. And that was Tory Blaylock. He had 44 yards on 8 carries, but the other backs didn't do very well. So, saying that, now Oklahoma had 2 starters out on their offensive line. Both of their starting tackles were out, which is Michael. This is a name. I be hating these names. Michael Fasusi and Derek Simmons. Now, Fasusi is a freshman, but he's slotted to start. This is what I read. He's slotted to start. Now, if that's true, barbecue chicken is what you feeling like me. I'm feeling like barbecue chicken might be coming back. But you never know. He might be a dog like Bryce, like we think Bryce is, and he might be the real deal. So that's going to be something to look out for. If maybe that was the problem with their run game. But John Mateer. Now, it took me a minute to get to him, but John Mateer he's talented. He's talented. He was at Washington State last year, and he came to Oklahoma, and he also brought his offensive coordinator from Washington State, Ben Arbuckle. And Arbuckle likes to run a spread air raid offense with principles of the air raid, but he also likes to have like a physical run game. I guess you could say kind of similar to Chip Lindsey. Because football guys, if you want to advance the game, but with running the spread, but you also want to be able to have a strong running game, because that's the bread and butter of football for the most part. It never changes, having a strong running game, you know. So saying that, Wink, so I've seen multiple people, and people are worried about the defense. People are worried about the defense a little bit. Now, I'm not that worried about the defense. Well, let me say it like this. I'm worried about the defense, but not because they're not a good defense. I'm worried about them because Wink treats the first game like it's a scrimmage, and it's not smart to me, bro. It's just not smart to me to be doing all these lineup changes when you got a big game week 2, bro. Get these dudes ready to go. Now, some people are saying, well, he knows what he's doing. Okay, well, we're going to find out. And if we get lit up somehow against John Mateer and them boys, and we're looking confused, I'm pointing right at that game, and you doing all that flip-flopping on defense. You need to... I think he should have let those starters get their reps and play and get comfortable. Then get out. Then you flip in those backups. That's just me. But this is why you're here, Wink. Games like this. Going against passing teams like this. This is why you're here. This is why you're here. This scheme that gives guys like this nightmares. That's why you're here. So I'm expecting to see twists, stunts. I'm expecting to see simulated pressure, and then guys are dropping out. DNs are dropping out in a linebacker blitz or a corner blitzes. Things that all of us have seen over the last 4 years to give good passing games nightmares. I'm expecting to see it, and I'm expecting to see it cohesive. If it's not, I'm pointing right back to what you did in game 1, Wink, because it wasn't smart, to me at least. Now, if they go out there and play lights out, hey, I shut up. I shut up. But that's my worry, is I wanted to see you fine-tune your starters and your first off the bench, because I trust the scheme. Now, saying that, Oklahoma's going to want to run the ball. That's the bread. Running the ball is how you control the game. That's pretty much any team. So you want to stop, because Brent Venables is probably sitting over there like, I know Wink wants to have the chance to blitz and get after my quarterback. Or Ben Arbuckle is thinking that. So I want to calm it down and be able to run the ball so I can RPO and I can play action to my receivers. And then we get nasty. You know what I'm saying? So the first job is always stop the run, which I don't think that'll be a problem. I think Michigan will be able to stop Oklahoma's run game or slow it down enough to try to make them one-dimensional. You always want to stop the run, so a team has to be one-dimensional. That's the bread and butter of pretty much any defense. Stop the run, make them one-dimensional, and that's when we get nasty. Now, Wink, the goal of this defense is you want to stop the run with 6. You don't want to have to bring extra help. So you can stop the run with 6 and still have coverage in the back end. And forcing the opposing quarterback to play great to beat you. But if guys are confused and everybody's not on the string in the back end, he don't have to play great to beat you. So I'm a little nervous because of what he did game 1, but I wouldn't be surprised if the defense comes and plays lights out, like the defense we know. That's what I'm hoping. With confusion and getting after John Mateer and forcing him into mistakes. Because a dude like John Mateer, he's mobile also. He's mobile and he trusts his arm. A dude that trusts his arm, it can be good and bad. He'll make a throw that's great that you didn't think he could make, but he'll also make a throw into double coverage. This is a game where Jair Hill, Zeke Berry, and if you're covering a receiver, you have to understand, you still might, if you have good coverage, that ain't enough today. Same thing like when we play when we play Ohio State or CJ Stroud or one of those teams. Michael Penix having great coverage, that ain't enough. He'll still throw that thing on you with great coverage because he thinks he can beat your great coverage with a great throw, and you ain't looking. You ain't turning to find the ball. So that the corners have to be aware and find the ball. Find the ball. When you see that receiver look, you best look too, or that thing might be coming right like this over your head. So that's the thing. And last thing on their offense, I'm not sure if Wink will spy John Mateer, you may want, I'm not sure if I would start off spying him, but it may be something to think about because this dude can get jiggy with it. I ain't gonna lie. He can get jiggy with it. He can throw it very well and he can run pretty well. And he's a big dude. I think he's 6'3", 6'4", 230 or something. So the defense has a job on their hands. Ain't nobody, but this is my thing, the same thing I always say. Ain't nobody say it was going to be easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. So guys have to get off their blocks because it's very similar. Some of the principles are similar to our new offense. So you're going to have those sideways throws to get you baiting up, and then you're going to have those throws downfield. Because now you're creeping. I hit you with an RPO. I hit you with a pump fake to a screen, and then I hit you over the top. So guys have to understand that they need to, one, get off those blocks and fly up and tackle well on those screen plays, but also don't get too antsy and don't be trying to jump a play that you're not sure about and then get beat over the top. This job is a task for our defense, especially after Wink did what he did game 1. So I'm expecting to see a pretty good day out of the defense. I'm not confident with the lights out defense that we expected, mainly because of what they did game 1, But I'm expecting TJ Guy, Derek Moore to get after it. I'm expecting those guys to get after it. Rashawn Benny, I'm expecting those dudes to get after it, But let's see. Also with Michigan's offense, I want to see more. I want to see the play action and the RPO. Now, like I said before, the exotic blitzes of Brent Venables. You're facing a freshman. You're gonna blitz him. You're gonna try to confuse the hell out of him. Now, doing that, Chip Lindsey has to have this is what you came to Michigan for, bro. Help us. So I want to see play action. I want to see you bait those. I want to see you bait those guys. I want to see you bait them. If they want to play that aggressive, similar to us, you want to be that aggressive, I'm gonna play action you. Because you're going to be trying to key on that run game to make sure we don't run the ball consistently and successfully and taking the pressure off of Bryce. So I want to see play action because those guys are going to be firing up, and when they do, they're going to be out of place when we in the play from the play action pass. I want to see that. Now, quick thing. Bryce, and I know this one's long, but big games are always long for me. The pregame analysis is always long. But you can't hold Bryce back in this one. You can't hold him back. You started him. He's that dude. Last week y'all told him not to run. This ain't a week for that. This ain't a week to be saying don't run. It just ain't. If we playing to win, play to win the game. If you're playing to win the game, play to win the game. Don't hold him back today. If I see Bryce trying not to run and stuff against Oklahoma, and we lose, if we win, I'm still gonna be mad about it. But if we lose and he's doing that, my head might explode. Y'all gonna be like, where the post game analysis? My head done exploded. I'm out of here because I can't take it. I can't take it, bro. You got this dude. He's a freak of nature. This is why he's the starter. So Oklahoma, I need to see the whole playbook. The whole playbook. That's RPOs. That's play actions. That's deep bombs. Because Venables is going to have dudes in the box. He's going to. How do you get him out the box? You play action and throw right over the top. So I want to see it. We didn't see that bomb really We didn't really see it against New Mexico. And I know people say we're saving plays. Okay, let's see him. It ain't no more saving plays. This is let's get it. So I want to see that. I want to see him on the read. I want to see all of it. I want to see all of it. I know he's ready for it. So I want to see them doing it. Please don't try to hold this dude back, because you're going to handicap him and make him think. I think that's kind of why he got sacked on the last play, because he probably could have ran and tried to make something happen, but he was, I think it was Justice Haynes kind of wasn't ready for the pass, but then Bryce was hesitating because he probably don't want to run. This ain't a game for that. We don't need any hesitation going against this defense. Let's go out there, get it. They gotta go up against this 5-star freak of nature. Let him loose. Let him loose. Let Bryce cook. And I'm expecting that. If not, I'm gonna be hot. Either way, I'm gonna be hot. Even win or lose, if I can tell that they told him not to run, I'm gonna be steaming. I promise you. But that's kind of it. I'm a little, and I ain't gonna front. A game like this early, I'm a little rusty. Yeah, that's why I was kind of hopping around a little more than usual. I'm a little rusty with the pregame analysis, staying focused on subject to subject. But yeah, this one's so early in the year with both teams having new coordinators, new quarterbacks. This is a hard game to pick. Of course, I don't do picks on these pregame analysis. I'm expecting Michigan to win. I don't care if the task is tall. I don't care if the task is tall. Go out there and execute and play great defense. You can beat anyone. I don't care who it is. So that's what it is. The task is this ain't an easy task, what we're going into on Saturday. Like, ain't no jokes, ain't no playing around. It's football season now. Let's get it. We talking about it. So I'm nervous for this one. Now, if Michigan was to lose, it doesn't hurt us in the Big Ten, but the playoff, hey, you can't lose too many more times. But I'm confident in what Michigan can do, and I've got a lot of confidence in Bryce from what he showed that first game. And yeah, I know. It's just New Mexico. Yeah, true, but Bryce only showed about 70% of what he can do, because there was no read. He didn't try to run and scramble. So that's only 70% of this dude. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure, I'm just hoping that they unleash this kid and that he's ready for it. Just because he was ready for it at the big house, that's not a guarantee he'll be ready for it at Oklahoma. So Oklahoma has a fast defense with a mad scientist as the coordinator and head coach. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he does to try to confuse and make Bryce make mistakes. But Michigan has to be smart with it and don't hold this kid back. As far as John Mateer, Wink, hey, we've got the system to slow Mateer and Arbuckle's type of offense down. We've got the scheme to do it. It's just are the boys already clicking on all cylinders? That's what I wanted to see first game. Not let's let all these guys play. We don't got anything to worry about. We don't have a big game next week away. Let's just play everybody. Yeah, we don't. Second quarter. Oh, we're up 17. Let's start flipping in guys. Yeah. So that's my worry, because I wanted to see them click. I just don't get it. If he would have played the starters for at least the first half of that game, and then put all the backups in the second half, I probably wouldn't be worried because they probably wouldn't have scored. You know, they probably wouldn't have scored because they started picking on Josiah Edmonds. You know, a freshman. So that's where my real worry comes in, is the fact that he did that. You know, so now doubt comes in because you didn't see him clicking all the way. But I still got a lot of confidence because it's a lot of veteran dudes. I want to see him click right first game. You know, not playing around. But it is what it is. So we're gonna find out, Wink. We're gonna find out if you right or was my skepticism of what you did last year, is it gonna be valid? You know, hopefully not. When I say stuff like this, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, and them boys light it up, and I can say, "I Wink, you that dude. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. You that dude, Wink. Let me shut up. You him. Y'all boys locked down Oklahoma and gave John Mateer nightmares. You know, I hope that's what I come on here and do, you know, but I've got skepticism because of everything I just said. So we're gonna find out. This is Saturday night. Michigan is the only ranked game Saturday. So this is going to be, everybody's going to be watching. Everybody's going to be watching to see if Michigan is back or is Oklahoma back. Ohio State fans going to be ready to talk their stuff if we lose, regardless of the score for the most part. And, you know, that's what's going to be going on. So the eyes of college football will be watching our game, and hopefully it's a good showing. Hopefully it's a good showing just in general, you know, because you don't want to be on the prime time game that and there's no other big games on, and you play like boo-boo. You know, hey, we felt it last year. Texas, when Texas came to the big house, it wasn't a prime time game, but it was the noon game. You know, it was the biggest noon game on at that time. So everybody was watching. And we got humbled live on big noon kickoff. We got humbled. It don't feel good. So this ain't no different. 7:30 at night, you just want to go to bed. And when the game over at 11 or 10:30, you just want to go to bed. Like, bruh, I can't believe that. Or you want to go to Maze or my channel and be like, bro. So I want to see a good showing from these boys, regardless of if we win or lose. Just have a good showing, bro. Like, have a good showing. And if we don't, offensively, I can give a pass. But defensively, I'm on your head. I'm going to be on your head again. I'm just letting folks know now. If their defense don't play lights out, I'm on his head again. I think that's about everything. Oh, yeah. The offensive line. A couple things. This is a long one. My bad, y'all. But you know how I get. I get long-winded and I start rambling. But so the offensive line, Link didn't play that bad, but you're not going up against an Oklahoma defense or front seven. So they gotta play better. Wink has got to show up and show out. You know, Justice Haynes did very well. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm expecting Jordan Marshall to have a better game than last game, definitely. But that offensive line, it's going to be a prove-it game for the offensive line. This is going to be a prove-it game. How much have y'all improved? Because I saw the big play ability, but I didn't see the consistency in the run game. Pass game, they were pretty consistent, honestly, for the most part. They were kind of pretty consistent. They were pass blocking pretty well for most of that game, regardless of what people want to say, you know. Also, they're saying Rod Moore might play in this, is possible. I wouldn't play Rod Moore in this game. Rod Moore ain't played in what? Going on a year and a half? I wouldn't play him in this game. I wouldn't. But I'm not the coach. I know somebody's going to, if they think he's ready, then he should play. And that's fine. That's your opinion, or you trust him. I just don't think you should. When you haven't played in a real game in a year and a half, or probably longer than a year and a half, bro, you're going to be rusty because practice ain't the game. No practice is ever as physical, as violent, as fast as the game. It's just not. That's why you always say practice ain't the game, because it's different. So I wouldn't play him in this game. It's too rusty. It's too much of a chance of rust. Play him. I'd hold him out. We're deep at safety. That's one of the positions I have no worries about. We're so deep at it. I'd hold Rod Moore out till next week, Central Michigan. That's the perfect game to bring him back. That's the perfect game. And if he didn't play against New Mexico, so I'm guessing he's probably not he's not ready yet. They played everybody, but they didn't play Rod. But they say he's possible. I wouldn't play him. If that's just me. Save that for Central. Knock that rust off against a cupcake, I guess you would say, or a scrub, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's about all I got for this one, y'all. This is a good one, and it's so early. It's with so many moving pieces that it's really hard to get a good grasp of what this game is going to be. Now, somebody probably going to say, well, you got a true freshman starting against Brent Venables, Johnny. Hey, you could be right. But I'm hoping Bryce is right when he says he ain't never seen a freshman like me. I'm hoping he right about that. And hey, that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.
It's great to be